Stop trying to learn English. Seriously. Every time you force yourself to study after a brutal 10-hour shift, you are actively training your brain to hate it. There is a hidden 30-minute back door to fluency, and today I am unlocking it for you. I need to tell you a harsh truth today. You are probably going to fail at learning English. Not because you lack intelligence, and definitely not because you are too old. You are going to fail because you are lying to yourself about time. You keep waiting for that perfect weekend where you suddenly have 3 free hours and endless energy. I am here to tell you that day is never coming. Welcome back to Glaze English. My friends, if you are tired of the endless cycle of starting, feeling overwhelmed, and quitting, hit that subscribe button right now so I can keep making these videos to help us push forward together. I know exactly what you are going through because I live it every single day. You are a busy adult. You work a demanding job, dealing with complex technical problems or managing heavy workloads all day long. Your brain is completely drained. Then you drive home and the second shift begins. You have a family. You have to take care of the kids, fix things around the house, and try to be a present and loving partner. By the time the house is finally quiet, your energy is at 0. The idea of opening a thick grammar book feels like absolute torture. So, you tell yourself the most common lie. I will study tomorrow. But tomorrow is always just as heavy. This is the busy trap. We deeply believe our problem is a lack of time or a lack of motivation. But let me be clear, motivation is completely useless when you are physically and mentally exhausted. Motivation will abandon you the second your child is crying or your boss gives you extra work. We have to stop hoping for an easy day. We need a stoic shift in our mindset. We need to stop relying on feelings and start relying on a cold, unbreakable system. What if I told you that you do not need hours of free time? What if I showed you that 30 minutes engineered perfectly is actually more powerful than 3 hours of random, stressful studying? Today, I am going to walk you through a highly specific, simple, 30-minute daily routine. It is designed for tired people. It requires 0 willpower to start. If you stay with me until the end of this video, I will show you exactly how to build this system, step by step, so that English automatically becomes a part of your daily life, no matter how chaotic your world gets. To make this 30-minute system actually work in the real world, we must completely destroy the hardest part of learning, deciding when and how to begin. If you wake up and tell yourself, I will find some time to practice English today, you have already lost the battle. The day will always swallow you alive. Urgent tasks will appear. The kids will need your attention, and suddenly it is midnight. You cannot rely on finding free time. You have to anchor it. An anchor is a simple, unbreakable habit you already do every single day, no matter what happens. For me, it is that brief, quiet moment right after dinner when my wife is settling the children and I finally sit down with a cup of tea. You need to find your personal anchor. Maybe it is drinking your morning coffee, or those 10 minutes you sit in your car before walking into the plant for your shift. Connect your English time to that exact physical moment. When the anchor happens, the system begins automatically. No inner debate, no excuses. Next, we have to talk about the real reason you procrastinate. It is not because you are lazy or unmotivated. You are suffering from severe decision fatigue. When you spend your entire day solving complex technical problems at work and managing the heavy responsibilities of a family, your brain's decision-making battery is completely empty. If your English routine requires you to open YouTube, search for a good topic, compare 5 different videos, and decide what to learn, you will just close your phone and go to sleep. The mental friction is simply too high. This is why you must build a zero-friction protocol. Take your phone right now and create one single folder on your home screen. Inside this folder, place exactly 3 things. One short audio or video file you picked over the weekend, a basic note app, and a voice recorder. When your daily anchor triggers, you open that folder. The absolute rule is to start fast. Do not think. Do not pause to evaluate how tired you feel. You press play immediately. For the first 3 minutes of your routine, you are in the pure warm-up zone. You do not write anything down. You do not stop the audio. You do not feel stressed if a word flies past you and you do not understand it. You just sit there, breathe, and let the rhythm of the English language wash over you. Your mind has been operating in a tense, high-pressure mode all day long. You need these 3 minutes just to transition smoothly. You are gently telling your brain that the heavy lifting is done, and it is time to shift into a new environment. Once you survive those first 3 minutes of listening without pressure, the heavy mental resistance fades away entirely, and you are finally ready to do the real work. Once your brain realizes it is safe and the pressure is off, those 3 minutes end, and we immediately shift gears from passive resting to active hunting. Now we enter minutes 3 to 10. This is where most hardworking people make a massive mistake. They try to learn English like they are preparing for a university exam. They pause the video every 5 seconds to look up a complicated word they will never use. When you spend all day analyzing complex systems or dealing with heavy technical problems at work, your brain is already operating at maximum capacity. You do not have the mental space to memorize a list of 50 random vocabulary words. And honestly, you do not need them. You need language that acts like a reliable tool in your hands. During these 7 minutes, your only mission is to hunt for exactly 2 sentences. Just 2. I know your ego might tell you that 2 sentences are not enough. You might feel the urge to write down an entire page of notes. Resist that urge completely. If I try to carry 20 heavy bricks at once, I will drop them all and exhaust myself. If I carry 2 solid bricks every single day, I can eventually build a strong foundation that withstands any storm. As tired adults, we must protect our energy. 2 sentences are all you can truly master in one evening before returning to your family. But they cannot be just any sentences. You are looking for high return on investment phrases. Do not write down poetic phrases or highly academic terms. You want the raw, everyday language that native speakers actually use to survive their day. When you listen to your audio, wait for that moment when you hear a phrase and think to yourself, I could actually use this at the plant tomorrow, or I could say this in my next team meeting. Sentences like, I will check and let you know, or that sounds like a good idea. Let us try it. These are not just words. They are versatile frameworks. You can plug them into 100 different daily situations. When you catch a sentence that feels completely real and practical, you stop the audio. You rewind it. You listen to how the speaker connects the sounds, where they pause, and how their voice rises or falls. You listen to it 3 or 4 times until it feels familiar. Then, you open the simple note app in your folder and write it down. You do this exactly twice. You are no longer just a passive consumer of content. You have become an active miner, extracting only the most valuable gold from the dirt. By doing this every single day, you are quietly building a powerful, personal arsenal of language that you can actually deploy in the real world. Now that you have safely secured those 2 golden sentences in your notes, the 10-minute mark arrives, and it is finally time to wake up your physical muscles. Speaking a new language is not just a mental exercise happening inside your head, it is a deeply physical workout. Your tongue, your jaw, and your vocal cords have spent decades moving in the very safe, familiar patterns of your native language. When we try to force them into new shapes using a popular technique like shadowing, which means listening and repeating right after the speaker, we usually crash and burn. I remember trying this after an exhausting day at the plant, attempting to match the exact speed of a fast-talking native speaker right away. I would stumble over my own tongue, feel incredibly stupid, and honestly, just want to throw my phone across the room. We quit because the heavy pressure to be perfectly fluent on the first try is completely unrealistic. That is exactly why we are going to use a much smarter 3-stage shadowing blueprint that actually respects your tired brain and your physical limits. For the next 8 minutes, from minute 10 to 18, we break the process down so you cannot fail. Stage 1 takes just 2 minutes. This is your slow, analytical shadowing. You take the short audio clip containing your target sentences and you play it, but you pause constantly. You repeat the words very slowly. You are not chasing speed at all. You are only searching for clarity. You are gently letting your mouth figure out the physical shapes of these foreign sounds, almost like slowly testing the machinery before you turn on the whole production line. There is absolutely zero pressure here. Once your mouth understands the shapes, we move to stage 2 for the next 3 minutes, which is normal flow shadowing. You try to follow the speaker's natural pace, but listen to me very carefully. You must not stop if you make a mistake. If you stumble over a difficult word, let it go immediately and catch the next one. We are training for rhythm and forward momentum, not robotic perfection. In the real world, conversations do not pause when we make a tiny error. We have to teach our brains to keep moving. Finally, for the last 3 minutes of this section, we enter stage 3. This is strong, emotional shadowing. I want you to speak a little louder in your room. I want you to act. You must copy the exact emotion, the energy, and the pitch of the speaker. If they sound urgent, you sound urgent. If they are making a joke, you must smile while you speak the words. Why is this so crucial? Because true fluency is deeply tied to human emotion. When you train your physical voice to speak English with raw authority in the private safety of your own home, that newfound confidence will directly translate to the outside world, completely overriding your old fears of speaking up. With your vocal cords now warm and your confidence building, you are ready to move into the final and most powerful phase of this routine, turning those captured sounds into your own independent voice. We have reached minute 18, and for the next 12 minutes, we are going to bridge the gap between mimicking someone else and actually speaking for yourself. Most learners fail here because they try free talking. They sit in a chair and try to talk about anything and everything. But as a busy person with a million things on your mind, that lack of structure is paralyzing. Your brain freezes because it has too many choices. We are going to avoid that trap by using guided speaking. You are going to take those 2 golden sentences you hunted for earlier and use them as a solid, unbreakable foundation. Let's take one of our examples. I'll check and let you know. First, I want you to say it alone 3 times perfectly. Then, start stretching it. Add a small piece of your real life to the end. I'll check and let you know after I finish my shift. Or, I'll check and let you know when the kids are asleep. Do you see what is happening? You aren't just memorizing a phrase, you are learning how to manipulate it. You are teaching your brain that this sentence belongs to you, not the person in the video. Shift the context to different scenarios you actually face at work or at home. By the time you do this for 7 minutes, that sentence is no longer a foreign object. It is a tool that is permanently attached to your belt, ready to be pulled out the moment you need it in a real conversation. Now, we come to the final 5 minutes, the memory lock. This is where we make the learning permanent. I want you to close your notes, turn off your phone screen, and look away. Try to pull those sentences and your expanded versions out of your mind using only your memory. It might feel a little difficult, and you might stumble. That is good. That struggle is the feeling of your brain building new neural pathways. It is the sound of the busy trap breaking. Once you have spoken them out loud from memory, open your voice recorder. Record yourself saying your 2 lines and your new variations for just 20 or 30 seconds. This is your audio journal. It is a record of your battle and your victory for the day. As we wrap up, I want to be very realistic with you. Life is heavy. There will be days when you are too sick to move, or an emergency at work keeps you until midnight. You might miss a day. When that happens, I don't want you to feel guilty. And I don't want you to try to make it up by studying for 2 hours the next day. That is how the cycle of quitting starts. Just accept it. Be kind to yourself and return to your 30-minute system the very next morning. Consistency is not about never failing. It is about always coming back. You now have a system that is simple, structured, and fits perfectly inside your real, beautiful, chaotic life. So, my friend, tell me in the comments, what is your daily anchor going to be? Is it that first cup of coffee? Or the quiet moment before bed? Let's start this journey together. Keep thinking, keep speaking, and keep unleashing your English. As we look back at everything we have discussed, it is important to realize that we have done much more than just plan a 30-minute study routine. We have actually built a bridge. This bridge connects the person you are today, the person who feels tired, stuck, and overwhelmed by the demands of life, to the person you are becoming. It is so easy to feel like our personal dreams have to stay on hold because our responsibilities as workers and parents are so heavy. We often feel like we are losing ourselves in the endless cycle of the daily grind. But this system is your way of reclaiming your power. It is a daily act of rebellion against the busy trap. By carving out this small window of time, you are proving to yourself that you are still growing. You are reminding yourself that you are not just a cog in a machine at work or a provider for your family, but a person who is mastering a new world through a new language. The deepest lesson you can take away from this is that you do not need to be perfect to be successful. We have been conditioned to believe that big results require big, heroic efforts. But in reality, big results come from small, simple actions repeated until they become part of your identity. The truth is that 10 minutes of focused, high-energy shadowing is worth more than 5 hours of distracted studying. This is a lesson that goes far beyond learning English. You can apply this small systems philosophy to any part of your life. If you want to improve your health, do not start with a 2-hour gym session. Start with a 15-minute walk. If you want to learn a new professional skill, do not try to read a whole textbook. Start with one article. The secret to a better life is not a massive explosion of change, but the quiet, daily commitment to a system that respects your human limits. Start today by identifying your anchor. Do not wait for next Monday or a new year. Today, build your folder on your phone and find your 2 sentences. When you focus on the system instead of the goal, the pressure to be perfect disappears. You stop worrying about how far away the finish line is, and you start enjoying the feeling of moving forward. This is how we win. This is how we turn a busy, chaotic life into a journey of continuous and natural growth. Before you go, I have a very simple question for you to answer in the comments so we can all learn from each other. If you could master just one English skill this month, would you choose to speak more confidently or to understand native speakers better? Please share your thoughts below so we can support each other in this journey. And if you found this system helpful, Please subscribe to Glaze English and join our community. Your support gives me the motivation to keep creating these deep dives and practical guides to help us all keep moving forward. Keep thinking, keep speaking, and I will see you in the next one.